Okay, so here we go. First day of the 90 days. Well, second technically because I posted yesterday. But this is part of the rejuvenation series for the knees. It is going to be how do we actually use heat for your knees advantage. So we're all told, okay, rise, rest, elevate, compression, elevate. And some of those are good, some of those are bad. The ice and the rest aren't so good. Rest can be used for a certain period of time. Definitely if you're coming off something like a surgery, like you've just been cut open, okay, rest a little, mate. But in terms of like long-term resting, like it's not good. We're not just going to rest until the pain goes away, because as soon as we go back into what we were doing, the pain's going to come back. And then same for ice as well. Like we don't want to use this for prolonged periods of time. It can be good in some cases. It's definitely good to wake us up in the morning and stuff like that. But say our knees inflamed or we have swelling, something like that, we've been told, oh yeah, ice it and the swelling will go down. But the thing is, Mother Nature is not an idiot. Like we don't need to suppress her. We need to support her. This is my opinion on this whole thing. Like what would happen if I just smashed my head on the side of this wall like just now, like really hard? It would start to swell and like Mother Nature would bring heat to the area. Mother Nature's not an idiot. She's not going to bring heat, bring inflammation and not want me to heal. Like why would my body not want me to heal? Our body has the function to be able to heal. If you cut yourself, for example, on something, you will see a scab start to form, then a heal. That's the same kind of process, just internally rather than on the outside of something like your skin. It's going to be for our tissues instead. Like I say, Mother Nature is not an idiot. What Mother Nature is trying to do is bring the heat there, bring all this fluid, bring the stuff that is going to heal whatever the broken area is. For example, the knee. I get loads of people come to me and say, yeah, my knee's inflamed. My doctor's told me to take anti-inflammatories. And ice my knee until it will go away. But I've been doing this for ages and it goes away for a little bit, but it just keeps coming back. It's like, yeah, it's because it hasn't gone through that process. It needs to go through the inflammation process to come out the other side and actually heal. So what we need to do is actually speed that up and support her in being able to do this, not actually take the process away. The thing is about this, I've used this with hundreds of clients now, and I've never used ice once with any of them. I've never told them, okay, ice it. I've always told them to do other stuff. And a quick story, one of our clients, Keegan, came to us. He had inflammation in his knee for years and years and years. Like I think it was, like don't quote me on this, I think it was 3 years. It was above 2 definitely, but I think it was 3. And he said that he was taking anti-inflammatories every single day. So he came on the call with me and I was like, look, you can do the stuff on my page, but you need some extra help if this has been going on for so long. So this get you in. He was like, oh, I'm not too sure. I'm skeptical, this and that. He then overcame that and he came into the program. And within the 3 weeks, he got off the anti-inflammatory drugs, which he was using for so long. We actually just used the stuff that I'm going to show you inside this video to be able to get to the point within 3 weeks when it was chronic inflammation for years. It's not like I'm a medical expert. Like I don't, like what I promise people is increasing knee ability, like with strength and conditioning training. Like I'm a strength coach at the end of the day. But what we were just using is simple blood flow, simple heat principles. And this actually helped him a lot. First thing to be able to do to actually use the heat to our knees is then that blood flow, like using exercise to be able to get blood flow to our knees, be able to get more of the fluids, get more of the substance that we need to our knees for them to actually heal, is going to be blood flow stuff. And you can see me here doing the banded knee extensions, the terminal knee extensions, anything that is like really, really high rep, short range, concentric dominant, that's going to provide loads and loads and loads of circulation to the area. So these banded knee extensions I absolutely love. And I also like sleds, turn off treadmills, anything you can really get the short range concentric dominant. If you don't know the difference between concentric and eccentric, you see here as I extend my quad into this position, I actually do the rep. That's going to be the concentric portion of it. The band then pulls me back down into it, which it kind of bypasses the eccentric portion. So the eccentrics on the way down on this and the concentrics on the way up. So it's whenever you're flexing the muscle, that is the concentric. And then the other way, whereas on the way to being less flexed, that is the eccentric portion of the movement. This kind of stuff we can do daily. Like when I done my quad, I was doing some super stuff. Like I was into ATG, but I wasn't that deep into it. And I was just doing some sissy squats just because I saw it online. I thought it was cool. Then I done my quad tendon and I was like, oh no, like it was really, really bad. Like I couldn't even do a sled because it was that bad. Like it felt like pins and needles kind of. It was really, really bad. So what I was able to do was I was able to do banded knee extension. I'd done them like 2-3 times a day, as well as applying heat packs, and we'll get into that other stuff in the future. But I was doing banded knee extensions 2 to 3 times a day. I usually just get my clients to do it once a day, maybe twice a day. Same as brushing your teeth. Do it when you wake up in the morning because you're going to be super stiff from the night before. Do it in the evening before you go to bed. That's just going to provide so much blood flow and really help the knees. So like I say, high reps as well. It's going to bring loads and loads of circulation. When we're thinking about the sled, like it's not just the sled that's the cool thing. It's the principles behind the sled of the short range concentric dominant and the really, really high reps. If you do sled for 5 minutes, you're probably going to get 100 steps, maybe 150, 200 reps of steps backwards. When do you get that kind of reps inside the gym? Like people usually go in, squat like like 8 to 12 reps. Like that is usually it. So on this, we're going super high reps, and I can do this with other stuff as well. I do this with knee extensions, but even like someone that's super early on like an injury or has been dealing with knee issues for a while, I won't put them on low reps for a while, especially on the short range stuff like step ups as well. Like I get people to do like 50, 100 reps of step ups, and they're like, is this right? I'm like, yes, it's right. Try it out. And they try it out, and there's so much circulation to the knee. We get so much good work, and it doesn't hurt them. It's just finding stuff that doesn't hurt them and brings loads of circulation straight away. Then the final thing is the flossing. So if you haven't seen floss bands, they're super good tools. I've used them with all of my clients. I use them myself throughout my knee injury journey. You basically compress the knee by wrapping these floss bands around the joint, and then you get some work there. It takes away the blood flow while you're doing the reps, and then after you take it off, it flushes all that blood flow there. So it's going to be a bit of compression and a bit of blood flow. It also helps to increase range of motion and that kind of stuff, but right now we're talking about the blood flow. So you can do it in any range that you want. Obviously, you usually see people doing the flossing in the deep squats, but you can do it in the top portion. You can do it in step ups. You can do it in sled. You can do it in band knee extensions. Whatever you want with the floss band. It's just about getting that work to the knee and then taking it off and flooding that blood. And that's the first principle of the heat stuff that we're using. It's blood flow and the training aspect. The second thing that we really like to use is saunas. So the research coming out with this is just getting better and better and better. The heat from this is obviously going to be really good for the knee, get some pain relief in. It also pushes growth hormone. So you're actually going to stimulate more growth hormone. You're going to recover quicker. You're going to be able to build strong and connective tissue quicker by using the sauna. So after your session, hop in the sauna. It also detoxifies cells. There's so much research coming out showing all of this good stuff from the sauna. And something I want to say throughout this video is that I'm not just saying ice is bad. Obviously, there's been times in life where humans are living in really cold temperatures, and they're absolutely fine. If you look at someone like Wim Hof, like he's using cold temperatures to really help the body, and you can definitely do that. But for this kind of injury, what I like to do straight away is to get heat to it. And then there's a time for nuance in using the ice. Like for example, I have a cold shower every single morning. That means I'm going to have a slower release of dopamine, and my day's just going to go better. It's also that shock effect of waking me up. So I play around with cold stuff as well. I don't just ignore the cold, but we use the heat for specific things as well. So the second principle is then the sauna. If you have a sauna inside your gym, count yourself lucky and use it. Do not neglect it. Third thing is then going to be Epsom salt baths. I have one of these pretty much every night. There's two different benefits from here. Obviously, you get the heat from the warm bath. Again, it's going to help with the tissues. There's pain relief. The second thing is that magnesium deficiency is so common. And within the Epsom salts, it's actually magnesium. So if you're putting these in the bath, they're going to then soak into your body and soak into your tissues. So you're going to be able to recover faster, be able to have more gains in the gym. It's just one of those extra tools that we can use. If you haven't looked at the benefits of magnesium and you're not taking a magnesium supplement, this is something that I really recommend to all of our clients. It's inside our Bulletproof Health protocol, and I'm going to be going through this in later videos. But magnesium, do the research on it yourself. It is super important. And then the fourth thing that I want to talk about, but I didn't have on the slides, I must have forgot about it when I was talking about it, was the heat pack stuff. So I use this in conjunction with my training when I was coming back after my injuries, and it's super good. So we can think of our connective tissue in the same way as metal, for example. It's just a good way to look at it. Obviously, it's not exactly like metal, but just humor me for a sec. So with metal, if you really heat up that metal, it's going to be easier to bend. It's going to be able to mold into place. But if it's cold, obviously it would take a lot of force. But if you get to bending that's going to snap rather than just bend. So if we're having any issues with getting into certain range of motions, if our knee's feeling super stiff, if we get heat to it before we do that range of motion, then it's going to feel so much better. This is why the ordering of exercises is so important as well, because we don't put our squats first thing. Like there was this principle which was just big, and it's like Charles Poliquin, I think, was one of the ones that headed it, but there's loads of people that have done it as well. But the first thing that you train is what you get best at, is what people say. But we've actually found the opposite for this kind of stuff. So if we put the squat first before we do the band and knee extensions, before we do the step ups, before we do the split squats, it's actually going to feel so much worse than if we do the band and knee extensions, the step ups and the split squats to make us feel good and get that blood flow to the knee, and then we go into the squat and it starts to feel better because the area is already heated up, the area is warmer. If we go back to that metal analogy, is that it's going to be able to get into that squat much easier. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the heat pack, of like, before I done a training session, I would put a heat pack on my knee, warm up the tissues, so when I actually got into the exercises, I could do more. And if you're able to do more in the exercises, you're able to access different muscle fibers, different connective tissue, different things that are going to lead to more gains. If you can get into more range of motion for the knee, the more synovial fluid is going to come within the knee, and it's going to be better. So heat is super important, and these are the ways that we can do that. And like I say, I don't want to make these videos super long. I want to give you a lot of value within 10-20 minutes, and you to take these and go implement it straight away. Go buy some Epsom salts. I think they're I think they're like £5 off Amazon for a pack or something. I can't remember how much they are, but start using the Epsom salt bath. Start having a bath every single night. Start using your sauna at the gym. Start using the blood flow techniques, and your knees are going to feel better. They're going to start to be better than if you're icing them, if you're resting them, if you're doing different stuff, which Gabe Merkin, who was the man that came out and actually invented the RISE protocol, he came out years later and actually said sorry. He said sorry for causing so many more injuries, for slowing down so many injuries from actually healing, because he was wrong. Gabe Merkin literally came out and said, wow, I'm so sorry. There were so many people that actually experienced cell death because of it. Obviously, it's not his fault to a certain extent. He was doing the research and he thought he was helping people. If you think you're helping people, like the techniques are just wrong sometimes. But that's why we're here. We're here to learn these things. If we wouldn't have experienced that, then we wouldn't be here right now. But people have started experiencing cell death. Like they got really, really cold around the knee, and then there's even more gunk to try and for the body to try and flush out. So here we are. Like, even though in schools we'll still be being taught RISE, rest, and ice, I was taught that all throughout my education. I know loads and loads of people are using it. I was told by the physios, ice your knee if you've got any pain, this and that. And it does take away the pain for a little bit, and that's why you think, oh, this is good. But long term, it's not good. So yeah, I really, really hope this helps. And obviously, if you do need any extra help with your knees, with any lower body parts, whether it be ankle, hip, knees, obviously knees are our main focus, because I've dealt with 5 years of chronic knee pain. Kadeem dealt with 7 years of chronic knee pain in different ways. So that is our specialty. And I didn't have any money growing up, so we have stuff all different levels. If you're super committed and you want the results the fastest, go for the one-on-one coaching. Like, I've invested over £30,000 in the last year and a half on coaches to help me build my business, help me build my social media, to help me build my knees, and it's the best investment I've ever made. Bob Proctor, one of my favorite people in the world, literally has a quote that says, if you want to do something, find someone that's done that, and then listen to exactly what they say and implement it until you find out that they are lying or they don't know what they're talking about. I have been through chronic knee pain. I have had all of this damage: snapped kneecap, knee surgery, meniscus, ACL damage after that, tendonitis for years. All of this damage to my knee, it was literally snapping into place. I couldn't walk like 5 steps without pain. So I've been here. So if you listen to what I say, if you implement the stuff that I say, and it doesn't work for you, I'm going to be like, what? Every single person that has implemented exactly what I've said, exactly to the T, has been able to make progress, has been able to transform their knees, has been able to get back to sport. So if you do need anything, we have a free ebook, we have low-cost programs, which are just a one-time payment to see the kind of programming that we use. We have the one-on-one coaching, which is a little higher ticket. But all of these here are just here to support you. We've had so many success stories in the last year, and all of these are going to be in the link in the bio. So if you do need any of them, they're there. If you need to talk to me at all, comment on the YouTube video, because I'm going to be answering every single comment that's on these. If you want to see any videos in specific, please let me know. I really hope this helps. Please start using heat for your knees, stop icing them, and we're going to absolutely rock. Appreciate you being here. Let's go.